Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Rutgers University New Brunswick YouTube live session for transfer students. Happy National Transfer Student Week. I'm wearing my We Love Our Transfers Scarlet Knights t-shirt for the occasion. We are hosting a variety of events this week in celebration of National Transfer Student Week. This is our kickoff event. So we're going to be hosting transfer student information sessions where we take a deeper dive into the Rutgers New Brunswick transfer process, what it means to be a transfer student at Rutgers and within the state of New Jersey. We talk about transfer requirements for all of our schools and the application process in detail, as well as transfer scholarships and grants. And I see people joining. Hello. Thank you. I see A. Williams, Jennifer. Jennifer, I just saw you at the New Jersey statewide virtual transfer fair. So it's great to see you here. And Alyssa, this is great. This is great. So I hope that you will be joining us for our transfer events. I just put a link in the chat box with where you can access all of our National Transfer Student Week events. We're going to be hosting Zoom drop-in hours as well. This is where you kind of can drop in and ask a question or two and just leave, or you can hang around and listen to what other students are asking, because maybe they're going to ask a question that you didn't think of asking. So you can stay as long as you want, or like I said, ask your question and leave. We're going to be hosting a transfer student panel on Wednesday night, where you get to hear from some of our current Rutgers students who transferred to Rutgers. And so they know exactly what you went through or what you're going through, the process that you did. And you can learn firsthand from them what it's like to be a Rutgers New Brunswick student, what it's like to be a Scarlet Knight at Rutgers. And if you're a New Jersey Community College student, we also will be at the New Jersey statewide virtual transfer fair this afternoon from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. You can register for any of those events via that link that I just put in the chat box. So hopefully you'll be able to join us for those events. So hi everyone. I see Patricia, I see Abdul, I see Asia. So really, really good stuff here. All right, so we're going to talk about some of the things. I'm going to be answering your questions. There's just a few things that I want to mention, and then I'm just going to be answering questions live and stuff. I see someone's interested in the School of Social Work and everything. So one of the things that I want to talk about is the application process, right, to Rutgers University New Brunswick. We have what we call application due dates. And if you notice, it doesn't say they're not called deadlines. So if you're thinking about applying to Rutgers for spring 2023 and you look on our website and you see, wow, the due date was October 1, I can no longer apply. That is not the case. We do accept applications after our due dates, but the due dates do give you some benefits. So for students who are interested in applying for spring 2023 and you did apply by October 1st, those students will be guaranteed to get a notification by December 1. A lot of them will hear way before then, but you're guaranteed to hear by December 1. So if you apply by October 1, you're guaranteed to hear by December 1, and a lot of students will hear before then. For fall, our application due date is February 1, and students that apply by February 1 will be guaranteed to get their decision by April 15th. Like I said, a lot of students hear before then, but we guarantee that you're going to get your decision by that date. Another benefit of applying by the due date is that you are considered for our Rutgers New Brunswick Merit Scholarship. So we don't have a separate application for our merit scholarships. All you have to do is apply for admission by the application due date for the semester that you're planning to come in, and then you're automatically considered. So let me talk about what you need to do in order to apply. So in order to make those due dates, not only does your application need to be in, but everything needs to be in by that day. So what do we need? So the application itself, of course, and I just want to mention that on the application, the essay for transfer students is optional. Okay, so you can choose to to write an essay and include it, but it is absolutely optional, so that you're not penalized in any way if you submit your application without an essay. So that's the application itself. Then there's also transcripts. So we're going to need a transcript from every single college that you've attended. For the purposes of the application, of making a decision, it can be an unofficial transcript. You can upload an unofficial transcript from your applicant portal, and we can make a decision based on your unofficial transcript. Okay. However, if you are admitted and you decide to attend Rutgers, we will require your official transcript at that point. Okay. So that's really important. And I just want to stress that we will need a transcript from every single college you've attended, not just your current college or your most recent college. Even if you attended a particular college and you didn't even actually earn credits at that college, or you just took one class somewhere else, you need to list those colleges on your application, and you need to give us a transcript from each and every one of those colleges. So that's really important. And then there's a $70 application fee. The application fee does allow you to apply to multiple colleges. So the Rutgers application includes Rutgers Newark and Rutgers Camden. I only represent Rutgers University New Brunswick, so that's what I'm going to be talking about today. But the application itself does include all 3 universities, and you're allowed to select up to 3 schools. We automatically waive the application fee for veterans. But other than veterans, if you can obtain a fee waiver from your previous college, we will accept that in lieu of the $70 application fee. So most of the community colleges, the transfer advisor's office will be able to provide those for you if you qualify for a fee waiver. So that's something that we do as well. So yeah, obviously the application is open. You can apply for fall already. However, if you're applying for fall, we don't start making decisions on fall applications until usually like January, because we need to wait till your final fall 2022 grades are in. So that is important as well. So the requirements for each of our schools really varies from school to school. This is not one of our transfer information sessions. I do encourage you to attend one of those, but it does vary from school to school. And I'm going to put a link in the chat box right now. This is our Rutgers New Brunswick transfer information PDF, and it lists all of the prerequisites for any of our schools. Just let me just get it on here. For some reason, I'm having a hard time getting it. All right, 1 second here. I'm going to move this over so I can see better. Here we go. Screen is bigger. All right. So that link in the chat box is really important. That is like I said, our Rutgers New Brunswick transfer student information for transfer students PDF. And it really has all of the pertinent information about the transfer process for Rutgers New Brunswick. And it gives you all the prerequisite courses for each of our schools. Some of our schools, most of our schools we admit by school for the most part. There are a couple of schools that actually admit by major, and those schools are the Blaustein School of Planning and Public Policy, the Edward J. Blaustein School of Planning and Public Policy. They do have specific prerequisites for each one of their majors, so they do admit by school. And our Mason Grove School of the Arts, our School of Fine and Performing Arts, they admit by major as well. Because each major, there is a talent assessment requirement for those majors, and it could be If it's visual arts, it's a portfolio. If it's a performing arts, it's usually like an audition or sometimes an interview, depending on the program. So it's it does vary from program to program or major to major. Okay, someone had put in the chat box they were interested in the School of Social Work, or majoring in social work. So social work is a little bit different than a lot of our other schools. You cannot apply directly into the Rutgers School of Social Work. Whether you're applying as a first year or as a transfer student, nobody can apply directly into the School of Social Work. So if you're interested in social work, you're going to apply to Rutgers. You're going to apply to the School of Arts and Sciences, which is our liberal arts school. And you will see that the social work major will appear under the School of Arts and Sciences on the application. You indicate that you want social work, right, as a major. And if you're admitted to the School of Arts and Sciences, you will then be prompted to put in an internal application into the School of Social Work. And basically, they're looking to see that you have certain prerequisite courses. So let me talk about that also. I did mention prerequisite courses and all of that. They are listed on the transfer PDF that I just put on there. But I want to mention that 70% of our transfer students at Rutgers University, New Brunswick, come from our New Jersey community colleges, from the 18 New Jersey community colleges. If you're attending a New Jersey community college, there's this wonderful thing called the New Jersey Statewide Transfer Agreement, or LAMPT law. And that basically stipulates that if you earn an AA or AS degree at one of the 18 New Jersey community colleges, so an associate's in arts or an associate's in science, and then apply to any of the four-year institutions within New Jersey. So Rutgers is one of them, right? So I'm going to talk about Rutgers specifically. So if you apply, and if we admit you, so you have to meet the admissions criteria, which is what I talk about in those transfer information sessions. So if we offer you admission, we have to give you half of the credits towards your bachelor's degree, which in the state of New Jersey is 60 credits. Okay, so it's 120 to get your bachelor's degree. Half of the credits towards your bachelor's degree is 60 credits. So you will get 60 credits. We don't give you any more than 60, but we do give you 60 credits, which is really, really nice. The nice thing too is because there's this law in the state of New Jersey, there is a website to that essentially supports this law, and the website is called njtransfer.org. So NJ as in New Jersey, transfer.org. And you can follow the transfer programs tool. Like if you go under the students tab and you go under the transfer programs, you can select your community college. You can select the four-year institution within New Jersey that you want to transfer into. Then you hit submit. All of the majors that are offered by that school will pop up. And then you select your major, and it'll tell you which courses you should be taking at your community college to transfer to Rutgers or any of the four-year institutions in New Jersey, but to transfer to Rutgers for any major. So if you're looking for social work, you should be, again, doing that. You would find the social work major listed under our School of Arts and Sciences, because that's the school that you're going to be applying to, and it'll tell you which courses you should take. If you're a community college student, if you're transferring from a four-year institution, the best thing to do is to go on our website. We do have in that little Rutgers New Brunswick Transfer Student Information PDF. It gives you the website address for our catalogs, and you can look up the major that you're interested in at Rutgers, and it'll show you what our students take in the first year or the first 2 years, or I don't know at which point from a four-year institution you could be kind of transferring at any point. And so you can try and follow the curriculum as closely as you can. So that's great. Sure. All right. Do I have to apply and pay again to join Rutgers New Brunswick from Newark? So this is A. Williams. So transferring from within Rutgers is completely different. That's not handled by the Office of Undergraduate Admissions. So that is not the transfer process that I talk about. You have to go on the school to school transfer website. Okay, you can get to it from the admissions, the Rutgers admissions.rutgers.edu website. And when you click on applying, there's all the different applications pop up. The only one that goes through the Office of Undergraduate Admissions is a regular Rutgers application, but for a school-to-school transfer, that's a completely different process. I don't believe that there's an application fee for that, but it's a completely different process. So you definitely need to adhere to has different dates. The due dates that I just talked about, they do not apply to school transfer. They have completely different dates, and the date by which you will hear is different. And a lot of times the criteria remains the same in terms of what you need to transfer, or similar. Sometimes it's not exactly the same, so that part is not too different, but the actual process itself is different. So I urge you to go on that school-to-school transfer website, or you can even just put it in the search box. Go to our website, put in school-to-school transfer in the search box, and you'll get to it that way as well. Okay. All right. Let's see here. I applied to the Rutgers University by October 1st. Due date. By when would I know if I've been admitted? Is it a rolling admission for transfers? Yeah, it's kind of rolling admission for transfers. The only day we guarantee you're going to hear by is December 1, but if you have everything in, chances are you're going to hear way before then. But I don't know how many schools you apply to. This is Patricia Navarro. I don't know how many schools you apply to, but if you apply to more than one school, there can be time in between. Particularly if you apply to Rutgers Newark or Rutgers Camden, they're smaller. They tend to make their decisions a lot faster than we do in New Brunswick. But yeah, you can hear. I mean, you could possibly hear this week, next week, but the only date we guarantee that you're going to hear by is December 1. So as long as you have everything in, like I said, all of your transcripts, you uploaded at least an unofficial transcript from all of the colleges that you've attended, and you paid the fee, and yeah, that really should be what we need. Also, the only other thing that we don't typically ask for a high school transcript from transfer students. But there are questions that we ask on the application about courses that you took in high school. We're going to ask you what math courses you took, and you just check them off, what science courses and what foreign language courses you took in high school. And if you leave any of those questions blank, we will typically then ask for your high school transcript. So make sure you're looking at your applicant portal and making sure that, we're not asking for anything additional. But as long as you answered those questions, we don't ask for it. And that brings me to a very important topic that I should talk about, is what it means to be a transfer student at Rutgers. So how do we define a transfer student? A transfer student is a student who has completed 12 college level credits after high school graduation. Okay, so because there are a lot of students nowadays that take a lot of college credits while they're in high school. Some of them sometimes will even earn an associate's degree while they're in high school. All right, those students, although they may be transferring in a bunch of credits and even an associate's degree, those students have to apply as first-year students because they haven't earned 12 college level credits after high school graduation. So that's also important to know. So once you've completed 12 college level credits after high school graduation, you're considered a transfer student, but anywhere between 12 and 23 credits, we typically still ask for the high school transcript because you haven't taken that many college credits yet. And we can look at that as well, look at your grades from high school as well. But once you've taken 24 or more college level credits, we're basing the entire decision on your grades from college. So that's important as well. Let's see here. Asia's asking, can transfer students apply for off-campus apartments? Yeah, so off-campus means that it's non-university housing. So that is something that you don't do through Rutgers. We do have an off-campus housing office that does support students that live off-campus, and they do provide listings. So there is an off-campus housing website. So you can just put that in the search box as well, the off-campus housing office website, and they provide listings. They can have, if you want them to kind of look over your lease before you sign it, stuff like that. They also offer like a food pantry, so and all that stuff. But that is technically, you're entering a lease in with a private landlord. That is not something that's regulated by Rutgers. We have an office to support students that are living off campus, not at home, right? But technically that is not non-university housing, and you can live at wherever you want, basically. As a Rutgers transfer student, you can live at home, you can live off campus, or you can live on campus. We are typically able to house all of the transfer students who want to live on campus. We have enough housing, so you can do that as well. So all right, if we did not complete all prereqs and are still in the process of completing, won't graduate until May 2023 from a community college, will that affect our application requirements? This is Asia. That's an excellent question, Asia. So we realize that you're applying for transfer in the semester before you're actually like transferring. So you're still, usually most students, unless you haven't attended college in a while or you took a semester off or something like that, typically students are applying while they're still in their last semester at their previous college. And so the prereqs are generally, you have to have them either completed or in progress. So what a prerequisite means is that those courses do need to be completed before you start at Rutgers. But let's say that you're applying to the School of Engineering. The School of Engineering requires that you've taken Calc 1 and Calc 2, 4 credits each, a calculus-based physics class and a chemistry class, right? Well, maybe you've already taken Calc 1, you're currently taking Calc 2 this semester, right? You're applying for the spring, and this fall you're taking Calc 2, you already took chemistry, but you're taking physics now. That's completely fine. All right. We know that we have to see that you're taking the courses though. And how do we see that you're taking the courses? When you upload your unofficial transcript, many colleges will list the courses that you are taking in progress. But if they don't, some colleges don't, most of them do. Some colleges don't. There is a section on the application where we ask you, what courses are you currently taking this year? And that's why it's very important to fill that out, because if you don't, then we have to follow up, and that delays the decision. All right, we have to follow up for that. But so if you're currently taking those courses, we're going to assume that that you're going to continue to do as well as you have been doing. So if we admit you, we're going to assume that you're going to continue to do as well as you have been doing. For the School of Engineering, they do require a 3.0 minimum cumulative GPA. So if you're admitted, you have that or higher, right? And however, if you are admitted to Rutgers and you do decide to attend, we will ask for your final transcript from that previous school, and it'll be an official one. And we do review it to make sure that your grades continue the same, and that you did in fact successfully complete those courses before entering Rutgers. So that's what a prerequisite course means. It means a course that needs to be completed before you enter in a particular school at Rutgers. So if someone's asking about the parking fee, so parking, you do have to pay in order to park on campus. There is like a parking fee for the parking permit, basically. So there is a fee for that. All right, so you're going to be taking, this is Asia, you're going to be taking statistics in the summer, and then I'll be done. Yeah, it's okay if you're taking it in the summer. For the most, it depends on if it's for the Blaustein school. Some of the schools, like for example, the Rutgers Business School, New Brunswick, you have to take, the prerequisites have to be in progress at the time for spring. If you're starting in the fall, and well, for the Rutgers Business School, they only offer fall admission. You can only start in the fall. So like if you have one of their prerequisite courses, let's say it's calculus or you know, so whatever, it has to be taken in the spring. They don't wait till the summer because sometimes they're closed by then. So they have to know that you completed the course, right? So, but if it's for the Blaustein School, because I see that you're saying statistics, and that I know that's one of the requirements for a lot of their programs. They can usually, it's usually okay as long as you're able to show a transcript that shows that you're registered for the course. It's usually okay. All right. So sure, no problem. Is the application process much different for who's applying from another country? Gabby, so the application itself is the same, but usually students, if you are an international student, you do have to supply additional information. So if you're currently still in another country, there's like a bank letter. You have to show a certain number of funds from, and you can use, you know, more than one source for that. They just want to make sure that you're going to be okay while you're here. And then there's information in terms of completing the I-20. If you're already here and you have your I-20 already, then it's you have to have a form. It's like a international advisor student report where they kind of transfer the I-20. So there's that information. Also, students that didn't graduate from high school in the United States, whether you are currently residing in another country or whether you're an international student or not, most international students need to show this, right? But any student that didn't graduate from a high school in the United States will need to show English proficiency. And the easiest way to show English proficiency as a transfer student is if you've already taken English Composition 1 or English Composition 2 at a college here in the United States, and you got a grade of B or better. So English Comp 1 or 2 in the United States with a grade of B or better, that will satisfy the English proficiency requirement. But if you haven't gotten there yet, we do have a bunch of English proficiency examinations that we accept. The big ones are like TOEFL, there's IELTS, there's Duolingo, but there's other ones. And on that Rutgers New Brunswick Transfer Student Information PDF, I'm going to put it in the chat box again. In that one, they do give you there's a little line that says that if you didn't graduate from high school in the United States, and there it gives you the website that you can go to so that you can see which exams we accept and what the minimum score is for each exam to be able to show English proficiency. All right, so so that's basically, but other than that, the process, the application itself is the same. You still have to give us a transcript from every college. Oh, another thing is if the transcript, so for the purposes of making the decision, we can base it on an unofficial transcript, like I said, but if you are admitted and decide to attend Rutgers, know that we will require an official transcript. So I know that sometimes it's difficult to obtain official transcripts from another country, so you want to start requesting those. They have, in order to be official, they have to either come to us directly, be emailed to us directly, or they have to come in a sealed envelope. All right. So if anything that you're uploading yourself on our website is by nature, if you're uploading it, it's considered unofficial. Okay. Even if it says official on it, because it's already been, it hasn't come directly to us from the institution, and it's not coming to us in a sealed envelope. Okay. So, so that's important to know as well. All right. Jennifer, I have 67 total credits that transferred to Rutgers, New Brunswick. Would I be granted credit for all of them? The credits were earned with my AS from community college. So unfortunately, you do get 60 credits guaranteed if you're coming from a New Jersey community college, but we don't give more than 60. So we will take your best 60. Okay, so we're going to take the ones that are going to give you the best in whatever it is you want to major in here at Rutgers, which I believe you said was computer science when we were in the other session. So we will take the ones that are going to advance you in your major the best, so the best 60, but we can't give more than 60 from a community college. If you're transferring from a four-year institution, or if you have credits also from a four-year institution, we can give you up to 90. Okay, 90 is always a maximum because you have to earn a minimum of 30 credits at Rutgers University in order to get a Rutgers University degree. But from a community college, the maximum we give is 60. Okay. Patricia, yes, my application for spring 2023 transfer for Rutgers New Brunswick is all completed and was handed by October 1 deadline. To hear from Rutgers soon. Wonderful. I hope you hear from Rutgers soon too. So that's great. Oh, no problem, Gabby. Let me see here. Sure, no problem, Jennifer. I just want to I'm scrolling to see if I missed anything. So far all the everything I'm seeing has been answered. So yes, so Alyssa, you had asked a question. I believe I answered it already. I'm currently at a community college. What is the minimum credits I can apply to transfer without requiring my high school transcript? 24. Although I'm going to say if you're at a New Jersey community college, we really, really strongly encourage you to get your associate's degree at the community college because of the Lampet Law, New Jersey Statewide Transfer Agreement. It makes it like the process a lot smoother if you do earn your associate's degree. So we do encourage you, but we realize that not all students do that. But yeah, 24 would be the minimum. I think, okay, A. Williams, I'm admitted to Newark campus. Can I transfer all of my credits to New Brunswick campus? So, yeah, so I'm not sure if you are currently I think when I answered your question before, I assumed that you were already taking courses at Rutgers Newark. If you just apply to Rutgers Newark and were admitted there, that's a completely separate decision than Rutgers University New Brunswick. If you did apply to Rutgers University New Brunswick, that's on your application. You'll have to wait for the decision because the admissions criteria does vary from school to school. Even within the different schools in New Brunswick, the admissions criteria varies. So for example, our School of Arts and Sciences, which is our liberal arts school in New Brunswick, and offers most of our majors. So most of the transfers go to the School of Arts and Sciences. But they require a minimum cumulative GPA of a 2.7, 2.8, right? They don't have any specific prereq requirements. We do encourage computer science students to have taken a 4-credit pre-calc course beforehand, but it's not a requirement, it's a recommendation. Whereas the Rutgers Business School New Brunswick requires a minimum cumulative GPA of a 3.1. You have to have specific prereqs. You have to have, pre-calc, 4-credit pre-calc, and at least 2 of the pre-business courses, or if you've taken a 4-credit calculus course, then 1 of the pre-business courses. So very different. So it does vary from school to school. So you have to wait for your Rutgers New Brunswick decision. But if you're already attending Rutgers New Brunswick, then you would do that school to school process. Okay. So, all right, and I already mentioned the fee waiver thing. We automatically waive the application fee for veterans. That's the only automatic fee waiver that we have for other students. If it's a hardship for you, you can obtain a fee waiver from your previous college. We will accept that in lieu of the $70 application fee. So what else can I tell you? I want to talk about some of the services that Rutgers New Brunswick has in place to help our transfer students acclimate. I think we really do a great job with welcoming our transfer students and helping them to acclimate as soon as possible, because I know that it could be a little bit more difficult when you're coming in as a transfer, right? Because first-year students, there's a lot more of them. They all come in at the same time and they're bonding. And then when you come in as a transfer student, you feel like, oh, everybody already knows each other. But guess what? There's a bunch of other transfer students coming in at the same time. And at Rutgers, we have a very robust transfer population. I mean, we bring in anywhere between usually 2,700 to 2,900 new transfer students per year. That's pretty robust, right? So So what do we have? Well, the first thing I want to talk about is that our new student orientation programs for our incoming transfer students are transfer specific. We do not mix our transfer students in with the first year students at our orientation programs, all right? Because we realize that transfer student experience is different. So yes, you're new to Rutgers. Yes, you still need to have an orientation. And I know a lot of transfer students don't think that they do, but they do. Rutgers is a big place. We have so many services that are available to you, and you're paying Rutgers tuition. You should take advantage of all the services that we have, but you're not going to know about them unless you go to orientation, right? So we're going to tell you about all the different services. You're going to learn about all the different clubs and activities that are available. You're going to learn about navigating our campus. We do have a large, beautiful and unique, but large campus. But you're not new to college, right? Like first year students are completely new to college. They have no idea what it's like to take college classes, to have a college schedule. You don't need all of that basic stuff, but you need to know what's available to you at Rutgers. So we have transfer specific student orientations. We have a condensed evening one if you work full time during the day and you can only get, you can't take a day off. We have that. We have, so transfer student or orientation is typically like a lot shorter than for first year students. First year students, spend the night and it's a 2-day thing. But if you're thinking about living on campus and you do want that experience, we do have the overnight experience for transfer students as well, if you choose that. So, so you have that choice. We don't want you to feel like you're missing out on anything, but I just think it's great. The other big thing about transfer orientation is that they do a really good job of getting you guys to meet each other during the transfer process, and you can make friends before you start at Rutgers, so that you don't feel like, oh, everybody else knows each other. Guess what? You know people too, right? So that's one of them. We have living learning communities. If you're planning on living on campus that are open to transfer students, there's all these different living learning communities. There's even one that's called Transfer Nights where you can live with other incoming transfer students, so that's great. We have a lot of our schools offer transfer mentorship programs. This is where you have access to current Rutgers students who transferred into Rutgers previously. So they know exactly what you're going through and they can show you the ropes. Our School of Arts and Sciences, which is our largest school, offers this is a mandatory thing for incoming transfer students. All incoming transfer students have to take a Students in Transition seminar during their first semester at the School of Arts and Sciences. And it's great because it's a 1-credit class, but basically, so you get credit for it, but basically it's just giving you all of the tools that you need to be successful at Rutgers, all of the tips and all of that. So it's really good stuff. Also, our School of Arts and Sciences has a Tau Sigma Honor Society, which is a national honor society for transfers that recognizes like high academic achievement and all of that. So we have a lot of different things in place to make sure that our transfer students acclimate and everything. I'm hearing, okay, let me see here. I'm looking through can you transfer with an associate's and go for BSN straight up? So Zainab, so only if you have an associate's and an RN. So at Rutgers New Brunswick, the Bachelor of Science in nursing, okay? You can only transfer RN to BS in nursing, all right? The other option that we have is for students who have already earned their bachelor's degree. We have a 14-month accelerated second degree program. So that's a second bachelor's degree. So what I typically tell students is, if you don't have your RN, and you can transfer to Rutgers, you can let's do a major in biology or something and then apply for that 14-month. And the reason I say this to you is because a lot of the nursing programs just have waiting lists. Like to get into the 2-year programs, they have long waiting lists. So it might be faster for you to do it that way, right? So if you don't have your RN, what I do recommend is, so Rutgers New Brunswick, School of Nursing, the School of Nursing New Brunswick, and the School of Nursing Newark, which falls under, it's located in Newark, but it falls under the New Brunswick umbrella. You'll see it listed under New Brunswick on our application. Don't ask me why. That's how it is, okay? But both of those schools, you have to have the RN. However, Rutgers, the School of Nursing at Rutgers Camden does accept non-RNs. All right. I don't represent Rutgers Camden, so I can't speak to their program. I know they have prerequisites and everything, but I do encourage you to reach out to them and attend one of their sessions. Okay. Zainab. You're welcome. Let me just see here. And then Avi is asking, I'm currently finishing my associate's degree in computer science. I did apply for transfer for spring 2023. Yay. How long will it take to hear back from Rutgers? So if you got everything in by October 1, which was our the due date for spring admission, you're guaranteed to get a decision by December 1. Most students will hear way before then. There's a possibility you have everything in and you got it in that you could hear this week or next week, but the only date we guarantee that you're going to hear by is December 1. Okay, so it's sort of like they kind of go out like a rolling for transfer students. And then I just want to say again, for those of you who joined us before I talked about this, I did talk about this in the beginning of the YouTube live session about due dates. So it's not a deadline, it's a due date. So we are still accepting applications for spring 2023. In fact, many transfer students apply after the due date. What the due date does is that it gives you a guaranteed date by which you will hear back. And it also guarantees that you're considered for our transfer scholarships. Okay, and I'm going to put the link for the transfer scholarships and something else that I want to talk about in the chat box right now. All right, so yeah, there's no separate application for our transfer scholarships. All you have to do is apply for admission to Rutgers via the Rutgers admissions application by the application due date, which for spring was October 1. And everything has to be in by October 1, not just the application. If you're applying for fall, the application due date is February 1, and everything would have to be in by February 1 to make that date. So then that's how you get considered for the scholarships. You don't have to fill out a scholarship application. I want to talk about this wonderful thing that we just got at Rutgers, which I'm so excited about. And it was actually an initiative from the state, from Governor Murphy, signed into law the Garden State Guarantee. If you're attending a New Jersey community college, you probably heard about it, but you don't have to attend a New Jersey community college. You just have to be a New Jersey resident to qualify for this. So the Garden State Guarantee was for years 3 and 4 of your college. Okay, so Rutgers expanded upon that Garden State Guarantee with our own Scarlet Guarantee. So it does kind of work in tandem with the Garden State Guarantee, but the Scarlet Guarantee is for all 4 years. So it doesn't matter when you transfer to Rutgers, as long as you're a New Jersey resident and you want to be a full-time student at Rutgers. The Scarlet Guarantee is based on your family's adjusted gross income. All right. So the first tier is for students whose family's adjusted gross income is from $0 to $65,000. Those students will pay $0 in tuition and fees at Rutgers University, New Brunswick. This is a New Brunswick program. So it does not include room and board for those of you who want to live on campus, all right? But tuition and fees right now are about $16,200. So it's a significant cost savings, all right? So if you're in the second tier is $65,001 to $80,000 per year. If your family's adjusted gross income falls within that tier, those students pay no more than $3,000 a year for tuition and fees. And then the final tier is Rutgers added a third tier because the Garden State Guarantee only had 2 tiers. But we added a third tier, and the third tier is if your family's adjusted gross income is from $80,001 to $100,000 per year. Those students pay no more than $5,000 per year in tuition and fees. No matter how you slice it, what tier you fall into, it's a significant cost savings. It's like over $11,000, even if you're in the last tier. So it's really great. All you have to do is for that one, you don't have to have applied to Rutgers by the application due date. You just have to either file a FAFSA if you're eligible to file the FAFSA by April 15th, okay? If you're not eligible to file the FAFSA, you can file the New Jersey Alternative Financial Aid application if you qualify for that as well. That's through the HESA, the Higher Education Student Assistance Authority website. It's all on that link that I put in the chat box for the Rutgers Scarlet Guarantee. All right, you just have to file it by April 15th. You have to be a full-time student and you have to be a New Jersey resident. All right, so really exciting stuff. All right, let me just look on here and see. I'm sorry. Oh, the transfer. Transfer scholarships. Let me just take that one. The transfer scholarships link. Let me just try and get it on here because I'm gonna have to move this over. For some reason, on my laptop screen, it's hard for me to put stuff on. Oh, okay, it didn't. All right, let me see here. Let me try that again. Okay, I'm sorry about that. Oh, okay, I think somebody put it in already. Okay. Thank you. All right. So it's on there. And then the Garden State Guarantee, let me throw that one in there too, just in case that one got muddled too, I don't know. But yeah, the scholarships, the transfer scholarships, I just wanna say we do have 2 merit-based transfer scholarships. They are both for, students that are transferring from a community college. So the first one is the Phi Theta Kappa. There's information. This is what the transfer student information for transfer students PDF looks like if you print it out. The transfer scholarship information is in this gray box on the back. And so the first one is the Phi Theta Kappa scholarship. It's the biggest one we have. It's $8,000 per year. It's available in the fall and the spring, and it is open to international students. Okay, it is really competitive though. All right, so you have to be a member of Phi Theta Kappa. You have to be graduating with an associate's in arts or associate's in science from any community college in the United States. Doesn't have to be in New Jersey. Okay, and we only have 50 of these that we award per year, so it becomes competitive, right? And you have a finite number, it becomes competitive. So the minimum cumulative GPA to be considered for the PTK scholarship is a 3.8. That does not guarantee the scholarship because we have a lot of excellent students that apply to Rutgers. So typically when all is said and done, the students that are actually offered the scholarship usually have cumulative GPAs of 3.97 or above, okay? All of the details are, if you go on here, it'll give you the website that you can go on. And obviously, if you're looking at it online, you can just click on the links and you can see all of the details because there's like a lot of like small print on it or whatever. But the other scholarship is a Francis B. and Paige D. Lamadou scholarship. That's only for students graduating from a New Jersey Community College with an AA or AS degree. It's the range of that scholarship in terms of the monetary award is $1,750 to $3,500. It's usually awarded at the higher amount, the $3,500 amount. This one is only offered in the fall. Okay, it's not open to international students. Unfortunately, it has to be you have to be a permanent resident of the United States. And again, graduating from a New Jersey Community College, it's very similar to the other one, 3.8 minimum, but that doesn't guarantee the scholarship. We only have a handful of these, handful meaning like 3 to 6 per year that we award. And this one, we try to award it to students that are not members of PTK because they're eligible to apply for the PTK one. So usually they're all 4.0s, the ones that get it. So they're very, very competitive, all right? And then, like I said, then we have the Scarlet Guarantee, which is not based on GPA. It's just if you're a New Jersey resident and your family's adjusted gross income and stuff. We also partner, if you're a New Jersey Dreamer, we do partner with an organization called the Dream.us that offers scholarships for Dreamers. For that one, you do have to fill out an application on the Dream.us application, and you have to do that by the end of February. And then we also participate in NJ Stars too. So this is not a Rutgers thing, it's a New Jersey thing. So if you're attending a New Jersey community college and you're part of New Jersey Stars or NJ Stars, you're eligible to get NJ Stars 2 here, possibly, you know. as long as you meet the guidelines that are set forth by the state of New Jersey, you can get up to, I think it's like $12.50 per semester from NJ Stars 2. So, so that's another thing. And they're all listed on this PDF. And again, it'll give you links where you can go on our website and find out like more details about everything. All right, and then on this PDF on the back is where we have all of the requirements. So it gives you general requirements that all of our colleges adhere to, and then over here it lists all of the schools that you apply to and all of their specific requirements. So you definitely want to take a look at that. So yes, Jennifer saying the Community College Opportunity Grant and Garden State Guarantee are amazing. Yes, so the Community College Opportunity Grant, if you're a New Jersey community college student, is like basically the part for the first 2 years of the Garden State Guarantee if you're attending a New Jersey community college. I look forward to attending the person information for the School of Social Work in November. Wonderful, that's great. Yeah, they do have their own sessions. That's wonderful. So if I get my bachelor's degree in 2 years, then 2 years is left. So can I also get my master's degree paid for with the remaining 2 years? So, the Garden State, if you're talking about the Garden State Guarantee or the Scarlet Guarantee, it only covers it's only for an undergraduate degree. It does not cover graduate tuition. Graduate tuition is a lot more than undergraduate tuition. It's basically geared to help you out with your undergraduate degree, not graduate. So, no problem. I'm glad that you're finding this to be helpful to you. For the math placement exam for SAS, if you happen to place into Calc 1, would you still be required to take pre-calculus if you haven't taken it in college? I don't think so, but you know what? If you place into calculus, I don't think you're going to be required to take pre-calculus, right? Because calculus trumps pre-calculus, but I am not an academic advisor. Those are questions that you will if students that are admitted to Rutgers and decide to attend Rutgers, you will be advised. Like you will have an advisement and registration day where it's typically for most of our schools group advisement, because we do have so many transfer students coming in. After that, you can get individual academic advising, but they're called STAR days. So it's students in transition advising and registration. You will attend. We do have webinars for students once they're admitted, our transfer students, that will tell you about all of the next steps. So, because Rutgers is a big place and it could be a little bit confusing to navigate, to know what's next. We do send you a lot of emails and stuff like that, but it's nice that we have these webinars where we actually talk about what it is, the really important steps and how you go about navigating that. But one of the most important things for transfer students is the STAR days. It's the advising and registration day, and that's the day that you are advised and you register and all of that. So, and you will have the academic advisors there on those days. So sure, no problem. All right, so trying to see, does anybody else have any more questions? I think if there's anything that I didn't answer, I scrolled all the way to the top and I think I answered everything, either in the stuff that I was talking about or specific questions. If there's any other burning questions, just throw them in the chat box. We're happy to answer your questions. And then the other thing I want to say is that if you think of any other questions, please attend our National Transfer Student Week events. You can attend more than one event. I'm going to throw that schedule in the chat box again, so you can click on it. We have, like I said, if you don't want to attend another session that's like a long session, you can just go to one of the Zoom drop-in hours. I think I'm hosting like 4 of them this week. So you can drop in, just ask your question and, go on your merry way. Or like I said, you can hang out as long as you want. But then also we'll be hosting transfer student information sessions where I actually go through a PowerPoint and we hit all of the, take a real deep dive into the whole Rutgers transfer process, transfer admissions process, and the requirements for every school and all of that. So it gives you a little bit more context than this. We try to put like everything on here, but it kind of gives you an explanation of everything, you know. Yeah, so let's see here. I'm not sure if you have information on this, but for EOF applicants, would you need to submit our EOF transfer form only upon admission to the school? That is correct. Yeah, you don't have to submit. Well, you know what? That's not true. I'm sorry. Let me back up here. If you do the EOF transfer form that's on our website, the EOF transfer form is only if you had EOF prior at your prior institution. If you submit it ahead of time, we can waive your application fee based on that. Okay, so that would serve as an application fee waiver. Like you wouldn't have to go get an additional fee waiver. Okay, so but it's definitely really important if you're admitted to submit it so that that gets the ball rolling for EOF for you, and it will also waive. If you're admitted and you decide to attend Rutgers, it'll waive the $150 enrollment fee, like, or acceptance fee. When you accept, like when you're saying, yes, I'm going to come to Rutgers, they ask for a $150 acceptance fee. We do waive that automatically for veterans as well. I just wanted to mention. But for EOF students, if you have that EOF transfer form, we can waive that for you as well. Okay. Homecoming is this weekend. I will be attending with my mom because she is an alumni. I look forward to meeting everyone. Oh, that's wonderful, Asia. I love to hear it. I'm an alumna as well. So, okay, let me see here, Jennifer. Yes, I'm currently an EOF student at Bergen Community College. Thank you for the help. Wonderful. Yeah, so if you're a current student, then you can do the EOF. I would encourage you to do it as soon as possible. And my very esteemed colleague, Annette Medeiros, who's also part of the transfer team, is the person that goes to Bergen. She goes to Bergen pretty often. So if you see her there, say hi to her. Okay. And she'll be at some of the Transfer Week events with me. So you may be able to see her face if you attend any of the other sessions. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for coming today. We really appreciate it. Please come to our Transfer Week events. We are so excited, and just have a wonderful week. Thank you so much for joining. Are you rah-rah? Love it. Bye.